Hi, I'm Avery, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about the Lakota Indians. The Lakota Indians were fierce warriors. They are the westernmost of the Sioux language group. They mainly reside in the Great Plains in states today known as North and South Dakota. Before the 1640s, they probably lived a more sedentary lifestyle, but as time passed, they moved west and north to avoid conflicts with other tribes. The Lakota often hunted buffalo and antelope with bows and arrows. This not only helped feed them, but they used the hides and skins to make teepees and clothes, and bones to make knives, pipes, and other tools. There are about 70,000 registered people as Lakota Indians. 1850 through 1880, conflicts over land arose. In 1868, they signed a treaty to create the Great Sioux Reservation. The reservation was broken into smaller parts. Today, there are about 5 reservations in western South Dakota. The Cheyenne tribe introduced horses to the Lakotas in 1730, and Lakota life became focused on hunting. On their first encounter with Americans, the Lakota refused to allow the Lewis and Clark expedition to travel upstream past their village. The Fort Laramie Treaty of 1851 acknowledged Lakota sovereignty over the Great Plains in exchange for safe passage on the Oregon Trail. This illegal settlement was poorly enforced, causing skirmishes between Lakota and settlers, and putting pressure on the U.S. government to punish the Lakota, causing the Dakota War of 1862. Later, the Fort Laramie Treaty of 1868 protected the sacred Black Hills from white settlement until gold was found there and miners invaded. The Lakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho defeated the U.S. cavalry at the Battle of Little Bighorn, but then Congress sent reinforcements and the Lakota were defeated. The Great Sioux War ended in 1877. In 1882, Sitting Bull became an activist for Sioux land and rights. He was a symbol of Sioux unity and began to negotiate the U.S. government for their land. In 1888, the government began to work out a new treaty and gain more land, attempting to convince the Lakota to give up their land, rather than have it taken from them so they wouldn't have to break the prior treaty of 1860. However, in 1889, the Great Reservation Act was again broken. On December 15th of 1890, Sitting Bull was killed by Indian police. Shortly afterward, on December 28th, continued violence led to the massacre at Wounded Knee. Many think that the death of Sitting Bull and the massacre was the end of an era. Perhaps one of the greatest tribes, the last tribe, had finally stopped fighting. Sitting Bull himself had said, "There are no Indians left but me," when his tribe finally signed the document taking all of their land. The Republic of Lakota was proposed in 2007 as a country to serve as a homeland for all Lakota people. The Lakota defined it as a reaffirmation of sovereignty and lawfully and lateral withdrawal, not secession. This would unite all the separate Lakota reservations. The delegation was headed by Russell Means, an activist comparable to Sitting Bull, who was also a key figure in the American Indian movement in the 60s and 70s. The Republic of Lakota official website refers to it as a 158-year struggle for freedom despite continued and intense political activism. The U.S. government has continually deprived the Lakota rights to their land. As in the past, the Supreme Court offered money to placate the tribe, but it is unlikely that this will continue to work. While many think that Sitting Bull was the end of an era of Lakota advocacy, the Lakota's resistance has simply changed from urban